He needed one.
It just feels like that is the first shot that he hasn't played that to prod, and I think he's actually played that really well. With no slip in there, it's a pretty safe shot to play, really. And maybe that will just give him a little bit of confidence. He's been stuck there with only the occasional single. First boundary for Ahmad. They need a few more, though.
Got to thank Daniel Beswick for this one, digging deep into Law 41 regarding unfair play and penalty runs. This is 41.17.4. Remember, all of the laws of the game can be found on the official MCC website, who are the guardian and the governor of the laws. The playing conditions supersede them, which implements some changes like we see in this competition. So I'll read you this in its entirety. It's 41.17.14. Umpires have to know all these laws inside out. It's not easy. We'll get the single this time. Better from Ahmed. When 5 penalty runs are awarded to the fielding side under clause 18.5.2 or 41.1, 41.14, 151 or 16, they shall be added as penalty extras to that side's total of runs in the most recently completed innings. If the fielding side has not yet completed an innings, the 5 penalty runs should be added to the score in its next innings. So the Dutch will start at 5 for none in the second innings. It makes whatever Nepal post, makes it 5 runs less, if that makes sense. And the reason that applies, Mel, is that if you took 5 runs off this innings, obviously, well, if there hasn't been 5 extras yet, you can't take runs off a batter. So for the averages and statistics. So the Dutch will start in the second innings at 5 for none.
And those 5 runs are just seen as extras?
Penalty runs, which is one of the 6 kinds of extras that you can have,
Wow.
Could have done without that today. Well, I'm not going to lie, it's been really long. 10 days. And could have definitely done without that.
Oh, thanks, Daniel Bezic. Legend.
Worked into the leg. So a good addition, though, I've got to say, to the laws, penalty runs, because we don't have yellow cards or red cards. We're not like football or rugby or hockey or any other sport that deals with its kind of indiscretions in that manner. And then the code of conduct is there to deal with things kind of after the game. But I think the penalty runs are an important addition in terms of to stop any deceptive or advantageous play from, or any sort of angle shooting from one side to the other. I'm not saying necessarily there was any intent from Bashir Ahmed and Arif Sheikh in trying to deteriorate the pitch. I think there's probably a bit of naivety, nothing else. And maybe the message didn't go through the Nepal camp, because as per the law, there will and should have been a warning earlier in the innings, but that warning then applies across the whole team. So whoever it was that got the warning might have, most likely, was probably during Bim Sharkey and Rohit Padel's partnership, given that was the longest one. That message then didn't go across the team. So learnings for Nepal from that, and whatever they get, the Dutch are going to make it 5 runs easier in the second dig because of it. So 1 over left in the second power play. Wonder will Arif Sheikh try to exploit the fact that mid-off is up in the circle and try to use his feet, get down the track. Quick single, good running.
The other thing as well, it just feels like with those penalty runs being called, there was almost a bit of a shock factor, unless that was just us being shocked. But I think for the batters look that way as well. And I just feel like everything at the moment, it must feel like it's all constricting on them. And just being given a 5-run penalty, just another blow alongside the wickets, alongside very good Dutch fielding.
Yeah, the specific penalty law that they've been done under is 41.14, which deals with a batter damaging the pitch. It is unfair to cause deliberate or avoidable damage. This might not have been deemed as deliberate, but definitely deemed as avoidable damage to the pitch if the striker or runner enters a protected area in playing the ball or running after the ball. They must move from it immediately thereafter. A batter will be deemed... Again, we're seeing more drama out there. I'm not sure what's going on this time, but David McLean is going to come down and have a discussion with Scott Edwards. Maybe the two batters. We would love to tell you exactly what's being said here. Now, square... Do you sense this is a little bit over the top from the umpires? We're not seeing anything dramatic. 5 more penalty runs. It's going to be 10. The Dutch are going to be 10 for none in the second innings. They haven't even run a single there. I think they're saying that Bashar Ahmed is coming down and running in the protected area when he's tried to use his feet to play the ball. I think. Remarkable stuff here in Dundee. I've seen a lot of things on the pathway events. I think, let's have a look here. This is the previous ball. It's that step there. And I have to say, that is beyond harsh. I'm sorry, I don't want to call umpires out here. He's going to pull it into the leg side, going to pick up at least a couple. We'll get 2.
Oh, this is really extraordinary stuff here. If that's indeed what it is that has caused the second 5-run penalty.
If you thought the first one was harsh, this second one, I'm sorry. We're going to come back live. We'll come back to this replay. Just keep that replay, guys. Back live. This one delivered from... And he's going to be dismissed. Rattled completely by a remarkable 10 penalty runs that have been given against him. And he's just chipped it up. He's sprinting. Extraordinary stuff. Real controversy here, Mel. There's no other way to describe it. And you just wonder if even the Dutch, maybe, they're not going to feel sorry for the opponents. This one delivered from 24 yards, just held back very cleverly, looking to go inside out over extra. Good catch from Max O'Dowd. Bashar Ahmed dismissed for 11. You may as well call it 1 because he's at 10 penalty runs conceded against him. Staggering stuff. I'm left speechless for once. It's 167 for 6.
Well, you have to feel for Ahmed coming into the side for the first time in this series. And it really has been extraordinary. 10 penalty runs. We're still trying to just establish exactly what's gone on here. We didn't see the warning given early. We're just trying to get a replay.
So here it is. He's blocked the ball. He's looked for a single. He's only taken 1 step. The second one is surely off. Scott Edwards is complaining about it and saying he's running on the pitch again. And for the second time in the innings, the 2 umpires have come together. I've never seen this before. It's law 41.14. It is unfair to cause deliberate or avoidable damage to the pitch if the striker enters the protected area, which is the same as the danger zone. Real controversy here in Dundee. He hasn't actually even ended up running a run. The first step is fine. I think they're maybe doing him for the second step. And I'm not sure about this. Really, Mel, we want to protect the umpires, and the first one maybe, but that second one, very, very harsh. I've never seen it before. Twice in a game. The Dutch are going to start their chase at 10 for none.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be it's going to be dissected by many of the fans out there, and the Nepal fans won't be happy with it at all.
The first one we didn't get a specific replay of because it kind of came up on us, and they did run a single, didn't they?
And we hadn't seen the warning either.
But they've been done twice now for penalty runs. Karen KC to the crease. He gets off the mark immediately with a single. Just going to read that law once more verbatim from the MCC. 41.14.1. Batter damaging the pitch. It is unfair to cause deliberate or avoidable damage to the pitch if the striker enters the protected area in playing or playing at the ball. They must move from it then immediately. And you can see Edwards is the one asking the square leg umpire about it. A batter will be deemed to be causing avoidable damage if either umpire considers that their presence at the pitch is without reasonable cause. I didn't see a lot wrong with that myself. I might be completely wrong, But I think I've watched enough cricket to know that that is not something we see often, Mel. And remarkably, the Dutch, they're not going to need 159 from here, or 169, they'll need 159. They're going to start 10 for none. End of the second power play. We've seen 4 incredibly good ODIs, 2 remarkable finishes, and we've seen huge controversy here. Real controversy, driven by Edwards and Van der Merwe, who seem to have been, speaking to the umpires about it, and not happy with where the Nepal batters have been getting to, given they'll have to bat second on this pitch, and it's a third ODI on position. Can the 12th player maybe drive some change in this contest? Nepal are going to have to dig deep, get gritty, get up to 242, and then find a way to defend that. Looks like it's going to be the best time of the day to bat. The sun is blazing down, almost a bit of June heat here for the first time in Dundee. Looks for the block hole better from Klein. And we'll close out a 12-run over, more like it for Nepal. They probably need 5 more of those, Mel, really, don't they? 45 bowled, 196 for 6.
Yeah, and then somewhere we're talking about them getting up to 250, and now just to get to 250, essentially they've got to get to 260 because of those 10 penalty runs. Yes, look at the way things, a lot of starts today is what you would say, a lot of starts.
Yeah, the real disappointment will be for Bim, Sharkey and Rohit Powell. They both played very good innings, really important innings in difficult conditions. I wouldn't worry about the strike rate for Powell, but the problem was the way in which they got out, both of them. I feel desperately sorry for Bashir Ahmed. Completely hammered away, all the way, and just over the head of Teja Nidamanoru. Short ball from Van Meekeren. And Nepal, well, the 200 comes up in grand style. They'll never stop fighting, these young men. And the cardiac kids raising their pulses yet again.
Well, one person who isn't shell-shocked is Arif Sheikh. Takes on the short ball, takes it on beautifully. And he is determined to get his side up to a defendable score. Great stuff from Sheikh. He's actually really starting to motor on now.
Yeah, just getting confirmation from the scorers. The penalties awarded to the fielding side, 36.3, 39.2, both for batsmen running on the pitch, as well a gathering of looking into the bushes there to try and find the ball. Looks like a kid's school day is going on, or a sports day going on in the background. Lots of parents enjoying the action, and good work from the security guard who's managed to find that. All in a day's work for that gentleman. Thank you to him. And the ball has been found. Can Sheikh make this a big, big over? The 200's up.
Van Meekeren opened the bowling earlier. It was a little bit expensive, but took 2 wickets.
Cut away, good hand, really good hand. I think he misjudged it, Noah Kroos, but adjusted well. He missed that, I think it would have raced to the rope.
In Nepal's favour, they have got a very well set and increasingly aggressive Arif Sheikh out there, and Karen Casey. Now we know just how aggressive he can be. Just another 4.4 overs.
Just be the single this time. Yeah, can KC get one where he likes it? He struggles with the shorter ball. But if Van Meekeren gets one up in his half, KC is going to look down towards the clubhouse, down over long on. The Netherlands know that, though. They've done their research, so long on goes out. Mid-off will stay in the circle. Max O'Dowd out at long on with the extra bit of height there, so he takes Kyle Klein's place. Just a word from Max O'Dowd, don't go full, it will be from from Paul van Meekeren. Don't bowl full to Aaron KT. Dug in, really good bouncer. Nothing wrong with that at all. Just not as proficient is he at hitting the shorter balls to the boundary.
Yeah, that was a good time for it as well. You saw the smile from him after talking to Max O'Dowd as well. Oh, it just feels funny, doesn't it? It feels this really strange feel about this innings now after that period of time. These two have done a pretty good job so far of pushing it out.
Bowls him. Great double bluff. The bouncer. And then KC not expecting the full ball. Van Meekeren has a third. Really good from him. KC's not going to be producing the batting heroics today. Arif Sheikh just running out of partners.
And the tail extended. He has varied his lengths brilliantly. Van Meekeren bowled the short one, followed it up full and straight. And that is the end of Karen Casey for today. With the bat, we'll see him with the ball later. 11 off 19 will be his contribution to the total today. Very deep in his crease. And that's just the extra pace of Van Meekeren, well directed. 7th wicket to fall. Nepal now 203 for 7. With just one ball remaining in the 46th over.
Now, Nandan Yadav is not one to back down from a challenge. He's got a little bit of swagger to him. He's got all that experience playing grade cricket down in Australia. The schools don't come much tougher than that. And I would suspect he's going to look to be very aggressive here, try and impact this contest on his ODI debut. Firstly with the bat and then with the ball to follow. Just 24 years old. Gets a friendly wide down the leg side to start with. Not overly renowned for his batting domestically, but did make that 37 of just 14 deliveries, including 4 sixes against Kuwait in that quadrangular series final in Hong Kong, when it was him and Bashir Ahmed who nearly pulled off the unbelievable from 92 for 8, needing 175 to win. They got it down to the final over. Bashir Ahmed on strike, needing a boundary to win it, and they just came up short, lost by 3 runs. And Yadav will eventually get off the mark, just about, with a rather riskily run single. He'll keep the strike, and he has a first run in international cricket, in ODI international cricket that is, as it's 205 for 7.
So it will be Roelof van der Merwe to bowl out his 10 overs. Hasn't taken a wicket yet. He's been pretty tidy. He's also been very vocal. Very passionate cricketer. And straight away with the appeal, there wasn't much conviction behind it.
Yeah, not sure that single was particularly well thought out by Arif Sheikh. Should really have been keeping the strike himself. Any momentum that Nepal had picked up kind of drifting away again. Will get the single, but again Arif Sheikh encouraging Yadav for the second.
It's a strange running between the wickets all of a sudden. get that they might want as many runs as possible, but you could have had Sheikh on strike for the start of the over, just controlling things, and now Yadav has to face again.
Nicely cut away. Won't take the second this time.
But so they don't take the second, and now there's only one ball left in the over. So what does Sheikh do here? Now does he take the single to get himself on strike for the next over? But you feel like they've just wasted about 3 or 4 balls there.
Sheikh will at least keep the strike, but it's only 4 runs from Van der Merwe's 10th. What a great spell from him. 10 overs, again wicketless, but just so effective. None for 37. And he is a huge asset for this Dutch side, even now into this winter of his international career. 47 ball, 209 for 7.
The word that often gets used maybe a little bit too much when you, in particular, say when Australia and England are playing at each other and they look rattled. They look rattled, and often they're not particularly rattled, but I do feel like that's possibly an apt description for how Nepal have looked for certainly parts of this innings after that controversy, also because of the way that Netherlands have just cut off their main plan for scoring, which was herring up and down between the wickets. The fact that there's been a penalty for that must play on their minds as well.
Sheikh is going to try and accelerate here as Dutt bowls his 10th in the 48th. He's been, well, close to unhittable, hasn't he? From